Oh, hey there, it's good to see you. I'm just about done with this. Dish soap. Yes. Did you know that the average American has 300,000 items in their house? 300,000. So I just made up a little inventory sheet here, and I'm just trying to keep track of everything that we have. Well, we've all been to a store and seen them inventorying all the stuff in the store, right? So my friend Leslie, she was like, I had this idea. What if we actually took an inventory of everything that's in our house? And I'm like, well, what if we just take it a step further and if we also categorize it, right? Because when stores are doing their inventory, they want to know what they have, but they also keep very close attention to what items are selling well, what are people buying, what aren't they buying? And if there's things that people aren't buying, what do? They put it on clearance. And so I got to thinking, I was like, okay, what if there was a way that we could categorize the stuff in our house? And so we'd have a better idea. Should we put it on clearance? Is it time for it to exit our house? And so I looked into it. It turns out the average American household has 300,000 items. Can you imagine how long would that take if we actually went through and inventoried every single item in our house? Wouldn't that, I mean, it would take a really long time. It's not actually practical, but I do think it's kind of a cool idea to use as a filter when we're trying to declutter and simplify our home. Often we want to find ways to take the emotion out of it. So that's why we talk about the container concept or making the boundaries the bad guy. And so any way that we can find to take emotion out of the decision, treat it more like a store trying to decide if this stuff is adding value or not, it just can make it a lot easier. So I came up with this checklist, and there's 6 different categories that we could assign to the stuff. So we write the item and then we decide which of these 6 categories it fits in. It has to go into one of them. So the first category is essential. So this is easy. Our coffee mugs, use them day in, day out, right? Have to have them. Now, the extra coffee mugs on the top shelf up there, those aren't essential, right? It's the ones we use every single day. The next category is, have I used it in the past year? So I still like that rule because we're creatures of habit. And if we have not used it in the past year, chances are 99.9% sure we're not gonna use it in the upcoming year. So it's an old rule that still works really well. The next one is, I just enjoy having it. So there are things that we're gonna keep just because they're beautiful to look at or we really enjoy having. There's decor things that fall into that category. We still wanna keep stuff to make our house feel nice and cozy, right? Then we start moving into the other categories. So then we have the someday items, that things I'm keeping for just in case or because I think I might need it someday. And then the next category is sentimental or guilty clutter. So things we're hanging on to because someone gave it to us and we don't want them to come to our house and look around for it and find out that we no longer have it. So those things go into that category. And then the last one of my favorites, is the fantasy self category. So things we keep hoping that we're gonna develop new or different habits, we're gonna better ourselves, we're gonna shrink ourselves. You know, there's a number of different things that can fall into that fantasy self category. And so what I would propose to you, that if we were actually serious about decluttering our house, because we realize that this stuff is not actually adding value to our life, it's kind of become a burden, we realize how it hangs over our head, what I would actually propose is that the stuff that fits into these first 3 checkboxes, I think that's actually totally okay to keep, right? The essential stuff, the stuff that we're currently using or enjoying, like that just makes logical sense, right? That we would hang on to this stuff. But what if we really started to challenge this stuff that falls into these last 3 categories? Because again, when we look at a store, stores keep very close tabs on their inventory, what's selling, what's not, and what are they gauging by that? Is it adding a value? Is this a valuable item to have in our store? And they take that very seriously. And unfortunately for us, I don't think we often stop to question it. We don't question the stuff in our home, and we certainly don't make it live up to such rigorous criteria as the stores do. But maybe we need to learn from them. So again, what if we looked at this stuff in these past 3 checkboxes and said, you know what? We could pretty much cut all of this out, these last 3 categories. So let's talk about those just a little bit more. So the someday items, the things we're hanging on to just in case. The minimalists have a rule, they call it the $20 rule or something. I think they have a better name for it. I don't know. But basically, I think it's the 20/20 rule, right? If you could replace it for under $20 and in less than 20 minutes of effort to get it, and you're not using it, then you should let that go. And I know what a lot of you are thinking. When I first heard this, I was like, $20? $20 is a lot of money to me. Like, I don't want to just carelessly get rid of $20 items here and there. But here's what they say about it, is that you rarely, if ever, actually end up replacing it. And so that's why they stick with that rule, is because it's like a mind trick, right, to get it out of your house, but you don't ever actually spend the $20 to replace it. And so as we've gotten rid of tons of stuff in our house, that is 1000% been our experience as well. I have that one video about things I regret decluttering, and like, spoiler alert, it was like hardly anything, right? I think it ended up to be $32 worth of stuff over the course of the last 7 years, right? All right, let's talk about the sentimental stuff. And so another rule of the minimalist is the spontaneous combustion rule. And they say, actually hold this item. So if you have something that's been passed on to you, look at it and say, okay, spontaneous combustion rule. If this item spontaneously combusted and disappeared right now, what would I feel? Would I feel a sense of relief? Would I say, oh, good, I don't have to make that decision now? Oh man, good, I don't have to maintain it anymore. I don't have to keep it safe. I don't have to worry about somebody coming over and seeing it because, I'm sorry, it spontaneously combusted, right? So there's nothing I could do about it. Would you feel a sense of relief? And if so, that's a really good sign that we should not be keeping this stuff in our house anymore. Because why? Because life is too short to maintain stuff that has no meaning to us, and that instead is actually keeping us from having a meaningful life, from making the contributions that we would like to this world while we're here. On the other hand, if you're like, okay, spontaneous combust, gone, would you be sad? Like, I would be bummed if this disappeared. Now it's my grandma's milk glass, right? Then that's a good indication, like, oh, yeah, I do like having it. I do like maintaining it. I don't mind dusting it. I pull it out when we're entertaining once in a while and put something small in it, you know, and it's kind of fun to have. And so it's a really good test to say, is this a burden? Is this contributing to my mental clutter and just overall sense of overwhelm in my life? Or do I actually enjoy having it? And so I love that, the spontaneous combustion rule too. And then this last column that, again, I think you could just completely wipe out from your house and not only not miss, but actually feel better about yourself for getting rid of it, is the fantasy self column. And so you've probably heard this before. It's stuff we keep or acquire or have hoping that we are going to become something else, like a healthier version of ourselves, a skinnier version of ourselves, a more artistic version, a more thoughtful, a more creative, whatever it is. It comes in all kinds of shapes and sizes, from clothes that are 2 sizes too small to a Vitamix to make smoothies in the morning. I've heard friends lately, they're like, I got rid of the protein powder. Like, I finally just said, like, I'm not making protein shakes every morning, right? And so again, it comes in all shapes and sizes, exercise equipment. I've heard it referred to as fantasy self in the past because it's like in our fantasies who we want to be. But more recently, I've heard it described as self-discovery. Discovering for ourselves who we are, what we like doing, what we're capable of doing right now. So you know what, maybe in this season of my life right now, it's not practical for me to lose 20 pounds and to fit into those clothes. And that's okay. I mean, we've talked about the 4 burners, right? These things take tons of emotional energy to put in place, new exercise habits, eating differently, all kinds of things like that. This takes a ton of emotional energy. And so if you're in a place, again, talking about the 4 burners, which I'll link to that video down below, because many of you had said that was like huge light bulb moment, it was for me too. But if our other burners are up right now, our work and our family, it's actually not at all practical, right? For us then, oh, but I want to turn my health burner up too, right? It's not practical. So what if we just let this stuff go? Say, I'm gonna have clothes that fit me right now, today, that I feel good in, that I can put on and not have to think too much about my clothing and adjust it and all of that. That just like right now, today, I have stuff that fits and I feel good in. And what if we just let the other stuff go? I see this as a huge form of self-care and valuing ourselves. And even craft supplies, right? There's other things too. Like, I thought I was gonna scrapbook. I thought I was gonna quilt or crochet or knit. we don't need that stuff in our house taunting us anymore. So why don't we agree to pass it on, let somebody else make use of it, and not feel bad in our own house? And so again, I think what's so remarkable, I said, 300,000 items in our house. And I feel like you could get rid of easily 2/3 of that. So what is that, 200,000 items? I feel like at least, don't you think so? At least 200,000 of the items in your house fall into these last 3 categories where they could literally be deleted from your house. You would not miss them, but you would feel 800 times better about yourself and your house, because we like to think there's no cost to keeping this. But again, why do stores clearance this stuff, and why do they get it out if it's not performing? Because they're not going to keep stuff that's not adding value. So why do we do any different? Why don't we say this stuff, these last 3 categories are not adding value, not to my house, not to my life. Why would I continue to store it and mentally inventory it and heat it and cool it and all of that and organize it? Why? Why would I do that? It's not adding value. And if anything, it's costing us. It's costing us our emotional well-being, our peace of mind, and how we feel about ourselves, right? How we feel about ourselves. And so I really want to encourage you that I have this as a printable if you want to print it out at all, because I do think it's kind of eye-opening. But really take a serious look at things that fall into these last categories and say, you know what? Maybe it's just time to pass those on, to let them go, let somebody else use them, but more importantly, to not have them taunting me and taking away from my peace of mind in my own house. One thing that absolutely goes in the essential column is your bundt cake pan. So do not get rid of your bundt cake pan. Adeline and I are making a lemon bundt cake. So it's been kind of hot and humid here in Minnesota, and so we needed something a little bit lighter. I think it's gonna be really good.
I'm excited.
And how easy is this recipe?
Really easy.
Like, Adeline's 11 now, so she can make very sophisticated things, but you could probably make this in your sleep, right? And if you wanna make it extra fancy, you can put some lemon pie filling in the middle. So we're gonna do that today as well. So we'll show you that step too. Getting this stuff cleared out that's not adding value, I just know you are gonna feel so much better about yourself. I know I say this all the time, but it is literally one of the best things that we have ever done to significantly declutter our house. We don't miss it. We don't miss it at all. So I feel very confident that you're not gonna miss it either. So I will, like I said, I'll have this as a printable down below. I'll link to those other videos that I mentioned. If you haven't watched the 4-burner one lately, I really feel like that's a game changer. Be realistic with what we can accomplish and get done in any given week. And so it's been really helpful for me to look at my life balance, I guess, that way as well. So we'll link to those videos down below. But I would love to know, like, what percentage of the stuff in your house do you think you could get rid of and like spontaneously combust and you would not miss it at all? I would be very curious if you would leave like the percentage or the number of items down below. I think that would be really fun to hear. So leave that down below. But I love you. I hope you have a really good day, and I'll see you again soon.